Welcome to the Edge of NFT podcast with your hosts, Jeff Kelly, Ethan Janney, and Josh Krieger. We aim to bring you not only the top 1% of what's going on with NFTs today, but what will stand the test of time. We explore the nuts and bolts and the business side, but also the human element of how NFTs are changing the way we interact with the things that we love. This podcast is for the futurists and dreamers, the disruptors and creators, the fans and connectors, and the makers and doers that are pumped about this ecosystem and driving where it goes next. You guys want to jump into some hot top?
Yeah,
let's do it. Just got a couple before Robby moves on to his next endeavor.
No worries. Let's go for it.
First one on the list. Coinbase embraces NFT with new peer-to-peer marketplace. The cryptocurrency exchange is branching out and launching the new marketplace for NFTs. Purchasing, showcasing, discovering them, they claim is easier than ever. Just as Coinbase helped millions of people access Bitcoin for the first time in an easy and trusted way, we want to do the same for NFTs. All right.
Yeah. Big move, man. That's big move. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Big move.
I think that's great. And I think, frankly, it almost doesn't matter how successful it is, because just the sheer force of gravity that Coinbase is in our industry will bring so many more people into NFTs that it's great for everybody.
Yeah, one of the things they were talking about, I've seen some comments about it saying, well, what about OpenSea? Aren't you guys investors in OpenSea and this and that? I think they were early investors in one of the early rounds, but regardless, it's one of these things where I find in crypto a lot, people will say, well, there's already a company that does that. And it's just like, well, wait a minute, there should be a lot of people that do a lot of things and contribute to these particular categories, including marketplaces for NFTs and so on. There's winners across, many categories outside of crypto. And people forget that sometimes, I think. I think there's room for everybody to create a bigger pie.
Yeah,
for sure. I think maybe it was Mickey Maher from a previous episode from Dapper was just kind of saying, hey, we need more people in space, competition, there's no such thing, right? That there's a lot of space for people to do different things.
Totally agree. That is so right. I keep saying that to people. They keep saying, oh, well, who are your biggest competitors? We don't have any competitors, and that's not bragging. That's just the nature of the industry, because we all help each other out. The fact that NFTs are interoperable is a good thing. The fact that I can build a cool game for CryptoKitties or Bored Apes, and then people can bring their apes into my game, that's progress, because actually it makes apes more valuable if I make a cool game for them. So everybody wins.
Right. And I keep being reminded of this aphorism, the riches are in the niches, right? And it doesn't have to be true because it rhymes, but it is something interesting to think about when it comes to NFT marketplaces. This is a theme that's popped up several times, that there's probably space for a lot of different NFT marketplaces. And the secret to the success of each and one of them is, what is going to be their niche, right? And as probably as deep as they want to go, right? As specific as they want to go with whatever marketplace they have, maybe even for the better of the business, at least in the early stages.
I'm curious, Robby, if you're in touch with FTX as well. They just put up a marketplace announcement too. And obviously that's another interesting signal. You have a well-capitalized exchange going into the NFT space, similar to Coinbase, and how you see those two announcements sort of intersecting.
Sure. I mean, I think they all want to be, they want to be the place that provides liquidity. And I think from their perspective, because NFTs are digital items, they feel like they have, a deep understanding of how to match orders, because they do that for fungible tokens. And, you can do that for the sales part of an NFT. I think the only thing that's different is NFTs require curation, and they require a different approach to user interface design, because you're browsing a store, and browsing a store and and getting an experience of visual representation is different from just, you know, a ticker symbol and a price. So that's going to be the challenge for them, I think.
But it will be a great opportunity for innovation, and if everyone's pushing the limits of
Yes,
beautiful UX, it's only going to make the experience better for the consumer.
for sure, for sure. And I mean, obviously, somebody like FTX and Coinbase, for that matter, are extremely well capitalized to do that kind of innovation.
All right, let's hit the next exciting hot topic. And this one's fun. It just like Robby, it integrates the East and the West here. McDonald's presents its own NFT collection called Big Mac Rubik's Cube. And the Big Mac's Rubik's Cube is meant to celebrate the occasion of the 31st anniversary of the Asian country market for McDonald's. And the food company's statement explains it's a dynamic three-dimensional digital creative work which is inspired by the spirit of the brand and the shape of its new headquarters in Shanghai. I think that just begs a question just in general. What's been your experience throughout your life with the McDonald's brand, Robby?
The McDonald's brand. Well, the interesting thing is, I give you a couple of fun facts. The busiest, at least this was true about 10 years ago, of the top 10 busiest McDonald's in the world, 3 of them were in Hong Kong, including number 1. So Hong Kong knows something about that. And interestingly, the Big Mac index, if you've read about that, really does work. So if you look at the price of a Big Mac in every country around the world and then compare it to currency prices, it is a proxy for global currency prices. And it's quite fascinating. So yes, I think this is interesting because honestly, I think that NFTs are a fantastic way to enhance loyalty programs for brands.
There's a clip, totally. There's a cliff note to this article that I think is one of the most interesting things. The Golden Arches company will offer 188 NFTs to some of its employees and consumers. So that's interesting. The idea of bonusing your employees with NFTs. Wow.
Yep, exactly. Well, and I think it's great because it's also a way to give them something special because, you know, in our parents' generation, they got gold watches, right? That was the retirement gift or the, 25 years of service or something. And it was a show of giving something that was of value. And I'm pleased to see that NFTs maybe have the same perspective.
Yeah, there's so many parallels between loyalty programs, rewards programs that we can draw from to enhance engagement and reward attention and build community. There's something really special in there that we can carry over into what we're doing now.
Yes, totally agree. Totally agree. And I think this works, especially in a place like China, where people live much more digitally than they do in other countries, just because they're very, very, fast adopters of new technology.
Yeah,
on a mass consumer basis.
That's interesting, the point you made, Josh, about them rewarding their employees with the NFTs. I don't know if it was a huge story, but I heard it on another podcast. They were highlighting a little bit of negative publicity. I think it was for McDonald's, that they were kind of feeding, during the pandemic, they were feeding the sort of essential workers for free, but that didn't extend to their own employees. But we also mentioned something interesting. I think this just came up in conversation, a recent previous episode. They have these they have these kids meals, right? At McDonald's, and would have those collectibles, right? And you can imagine, I don't have any of the collectibles that I had back when I was a kid that I got out of the Happy Meals, but with NFTs, you could retain those for a lifetime, and still be trading them and having fun with them on throughout your life, and perhaps redeeming them for things, later on.
And in fact, I'm going to give a shout out to our friends at Sweet. We're shareholders in, because they've actually done a campaign like that with another hamburger restaurant that is well known in the US.